Now it's time for Straight on the Point with Jesse T. from some undisclosed location somewhere in the world. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here's Jesse T.
Well, it's good to have you back on the air with me. The Brown Beauty is back on duty. Thanks a lot for joining us and turning us up nice and loud. We are on the air and everywhere from the community. Boom, baby, to the world. What can I tell you? It's another day in paradise here in Los Angeles, and it's good to have you along with us at Facebook.com/Jesse Torrero. Also on YouTube, Jesse Torrero, The Power of Voices, Jesse Torrero. And we're also at www.thepowervoices.com for our radio audience. Live stream, Periscope, Instagram Live, way off there yonder on the other side of the room. You can see us there. Facebook Live right here. We've got a great show for you lined up today. Of course, it's a Tuesday in Southern California, and we're almost to a glorious Friday on the way. It's going to be a great weekend, and we're going to be talking about why it's going to be a great weekend, because Saturday night, there's something very special happening in Hollywood, and this young man to the right of me, as we bring him on board, we got to put our hands together for the one and only, the absolute very unique, and the king of the hill. Hey, Larry Cohen, everybody! Fresh off the plane from Chicago, my hometown, and flew in last night just to do the show. We love you, man. And I got bagels and cream cheese for your payment, okay? They're in the mail. Thank you very much. That's right. Well, why not, you know?
Nice. It was a pleasure to be on the show. Thank you.
Okay, now get out of here. So we're going to be talking Hollywood. We're going to be talking stories. We're going to be talking all the great things that he's got coming up here. And something very special is happening Saturday. So we're going to talk about that. And also, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Larry, there's also a live performance. Either it already happened or it's going to happen. Another live performance at another location, I believe. So you have to fill us in on that. Hey, check us out right now. Give us a call if you'd like to participate at 424-227-9461. And I do have to give a special thanks to the very young lady who brought us in here and together. And if it wasn't for her, we could not have this affair this afternoon, Larry. And we do have to thank. Yes, we are having an affair. That's right. Laureen Landon, come put your face in here just for a second. Woo! Yes, Laureen! Absolutely.
Go get him, Tiger. Hi, Lisa. I love you.
That's her friend. Yeah, say hello to her friend.
Well, absolutely, man.
I don't have any friends, so I can't.
Well, they're all in Chicago right now. No, they're all out here, huh?
Nobody there likes me either.
It's wintertime. Everybody's exiting Chicago as fast as they can. That's for sure. Absolutely. So, it's good to have you along in here, and because
so far I haven't said two words.
But you're saying a lot here. You're saying a lot here because
you can't say anything on this show.
Well, I just keep talking. That's right. And you just interrupted me. I tell you, Lee, I met my match today, right? That's right. I'm going to get it now. Bam! I feel like I'm up against Don Rickles here.
I didn't want to interrupt your rhythms here. I didn't want to screw up the rhythms.
Talk about rhythms.
Yes.
Saturday night, King Cohen.
Yes.
This great movie that you put together.
I didn't put it together. I had nothing to do with it. I was just the victim.
Well, the thing is, if you look at the poster of the movie, right? You're hugging the Empire State Building.
That's
like
the Chrysler Building.
Is that the Chrysler Building?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
And you've got
obviously you're not in New York.
No, I'm not. And you got your one finger exposed.
I could be in trouble. I could be like Harvey,
Well, I don't know about Mr. Wienerstein. But
you got to watch out where your finger is. I'll tell you in this world. One mistaken finger and you're through. One finger can do it to you. A whole career down the drain because of one lousy finger that might not even been mine. It could have been matted in from what they do on the computer.
Yeah, Photoshop, CGI.
Photoshop that finger in. That's not my finger. You can look closely. It's somebody else's finger.
Yes, Your Honor, that's not my finger. Your Honor.
And I can prove it.
And I can prove it.
That's right.
Right? Absolutely.
I almost said that.
Yes, well.
Well, anyway. Yeah. So tell us some more about the poster. Go ahead.
So, the poster comes together. You're climbing the Chrysler building in New York, and you're like the King Cohen, like King Kong and King Cohen. Now,
and I have a camera in my hand.
Yeah, because you have been, you have a camera everywhere you go, especially when you see the trailer of that film. It's everybody who's anybody who's ever done anything with you, which is everybody, is in that film.
No, not everybody. A lot of people are missing, but we didn't get them. But they couldn't reach them for some reason, or they didn't want to answer the phone when they knew it was about me. So you know how it is with people.
Yes.
It's when your friends turn on you. That's when you find it.
And, of course, with today's technology, you can actually see who's calling you. In yesteryear, you couldn't.
And it wasn't even me calling. It was somebody calling about me. But they still got the scent. They kind of knew that there might be something about
Wouldn't that be terrible if phones had scents? And the scent came through from another person?
Well, they're going to have that smellophone. That's going to be very big in a couple of years. You'll be able to smell the person.
All right, you heard it here on the Jesse T Show. Buy your stocks now. Let's get ready for the IPO because Larry Cohen and Smellophone is coming to a house
near you. They had a thing
you.
years ago in the movies called Smell-O-Vision.
Well, tell me about that.
It only worked in one movie, and it didn't work. It was supposed to be a movie called Scent of Mystery. And it was made by Mike Todd's son.
Oh, Mike Todd, Toddovision.
Yeah, and he had died in an airplane crash, and his son inherited some money, so he made this picture. And the whole concept of it was smell-o-vision. It was certain times in the movie, the smell of what was happening on the screen would come out into the audience. So if someone was cooking, the smell would come out. Someone was shooting a gun, the smell of gun smoke, or, it was a total disaster. People didn't give a damn whether there's anything. They wanted a decent story. They didn't care. The basic opinion of the smell-o-vision was it stinks. That was one movie. It opened and closed almost immediately, but they couldn't get the smell out of the theater for a year.
Oh my goodness! Can you imagine if it was like the movie Earthquake, the first one, right? Yeah. Where they had the seats would shake because of the rumble of the woofers, and you had that feel that you were in an earthquake, and you had smell-o-vision, and there, and
it could have been worse. It could have been King Kong. How'd you like to smell that son of a bitch?
Especially if he let one go because he had too many bananas.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You talk about a slippery slope, right?
The poor girl, he's got her in his hand, and he's just breaking wind like crazy. Forget, you knock some of those planes off of the Empire State Building just by giving him a nice spray there.
Especially if you had diarrhea because of too much coconut juice, because you drink a lot of coconut juice, man. You got diarrhea.
You don't want to be down below when the Kong's up
there.
Hey,
what's wrong with the ape up on the shoulder up there in the building, man? Who's going to clean up this mess down here, right?
That's what I was trying to explain.
Yes.
You got it. Obviously, I was very clear.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's what you don't see.
No.
That's why we don't have any more smell-o-vision movies.
Thank goodness for that.
Yes.
But your movies has always been kind of movies that set trends. They're ahead of it. They're fun. They got explosions. They got fast cars. They got interesting dialogue, and they're very unique as an independent producer. You have a very unique style.
You just described as every movie that's being made nowadays. Every movie's got fast cars.
Well, that was from Chapter 2 that I read last night on how to interview you.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, every movie that you see has got all those things you described. My movies are different. I got movies like Killer Ice Cream.
Yeah.
The stuff. Killer Ice Cream. Nobody else did that.
Tell me about that.
When is the last time anybody was killed by ice cream? Well,
it could have been a fudge bar.
You could get stuck in your throat if someone shoved a popsicle down your throat.
Yeah.
I guess you could die from that. That's my next one.
How did you get inspired for Killer Ice Cream?
I was looking for something different, and I'd like to take things that are benevolent. Like I once made a movie about a baby that was a killer. It's alive. So we had a killer baby. And then I made another movie years later about an ambulance that killed people.
It was Knight Rider before Knight Rider.
I like to take things that are considered to be beneficial and turn them into something horrible.
Making a statement in society.
I couldn't think of anything more wonderful than ice cream. And I thought, I'll just ruin ice cream for everybody so they'll never be able to enjoy it again.
Any particular ice cream that you ruined the most?
Pissing everybody off,
50-50 bars. Did you use some of those?
Well, Breyers, they got it.
They got the brunt of it.
Breyers got the brunt of it. Good humor.
Yes. Good.
Yeah, good humor. A lot of these companies were paying me off not to mention them, so I made a lot of money under the table.
Hey, I like that action.
By Ben and Jerry's and Haagen-Dazs, they paid off. I left them.
You went in there with the guys,
I left them alone.
Yeah.
But some of the others, they really got it up to giggy. So we had this killer ice cream and the
Maniac Cop.
Maniac Cop was about Lorene was in two of those, and they were about a cop. You run down the street, you're being chased by a gang, and then you see a cop. So you run over to the cop and you say, "Officer, thank God," and the officer slits your throat. I mean,
wait a minute. That's something I see every day. What are you talking about? I think that you've got the pulse of society, actually, Larry.
Yeah, it's on the 6 o'clock news almost every night.
It really is.
If the cop doesn't like the look of you, that's it.
You're gone, right?
You get it, boy.
You're going to kill him with your ice cream.
Yeah. And then when the gang comes up and sees what the cop has done, they run away.
Right.
They're scared of the cops now.
Hey, man, I'll tell you.
That's one way for the cops to get some respect.
Especially if the cop has a big stick.
Well, he has not only a big stick, he has a big slicer,
Oh,
he gives it to you good. But, we made 3 of those.
The one I recently saw was Syndicate Smasher.
Oh, yes, but I wasn't associated with that.
Did you have anything to do with that?
Lorene was in that.
Lorene was that?
Yeah, she terrorized everyone in that film.
Yeah, I think she's learned.
Then they started to shoot after that, and
there was a lot of bloodshed in that one. That's for sure. Absolutely, no lie about that. So these kind of movies that you've made over the years, these inspirations, these ideas that come into your head, you just sit around one day and all of a sudden you go, I'm gonna make a story about killer toilet paper.
I didn't make a picture about.
I know, but is that how they come up?
But it's a good idea.
Listen,
Hey,
we got a deal, huh?
What I like is the scene where you go into the bathroom and you try and put those toilet seat covers on the toilet, but you like to put 2 or 3 on because just to be safe. So you put on the first one, and then you put on the second one, and the toilet flushes itself. And everything goes down. Now you got to start over again. So, you put the first one on, then you put the second, and you try standing in front of it, and it flushes again. 2.5 hours later, you're still in the bathroom trying to give up,
right.
Forget about it. This is how this killer toilet thing begins.
I kind of like that.
Because the toilet knows what it's doing, see?
It's got a mind of its own.
Yeah, it knows what you're putting there, that you're covering it up. It doesn't like that.
It
doesn't like to be thought of as being dirty.
It's a clean tool.
So, it gets you crazy after a while. And then you try and get out of the toilet, and the door won't open, and you're stuck in there, and the toilet keeps flushing constantly.
So it floods out maybe, too.
Up to your ankles. So now you're standing there. And you're drowning.
And it upchucks other toilets' refuse.
No, usually a snake or a crocodile comes up
from the other toilet.
Yeah, from down in the sewers. They have them down there. They keep them down there.
They have a whole toilet syndicate going on.
There's a whole gang going on.
Yeah,
and things keep coming out of the toilet. It's a very low budget picture because it's all shot inside one little stall of a toilet.
Could it be maybe the Arco AM/PM market down the street that I've had problems with?
Is that the place you go?
Yeah, man. They give me toilet issues all the time.
I wouldn't use that bathroom if I were. I've heard some bad things about that place, boy. People try and go into the stall with you. You don't want that.
Yeah.
You don't want to make friends in the bathroom.
And you know what would piss this toilet off?
You notice in the bathroom, men, when they're in the bathroom, they don't look at other men who are in the bathroom.
Why is that?
Because, well, I'm not going to even go into that, but, you don't look at anybody else.
It's like you're standing there.
And you just keep looking at the wall. You look at the wall and you think there, and That's the way it is.
That could be a scene in the killer toilet.
People don't look at each other because they're not friendly.
No, and they have the old toilets where it was just like a big trough. Now they have those little separate.
The
military style where the big trough and everybody just
stand there and pee on each other. Right. It's a wonderful thing.
You have to be in the military to enjoy that. And what about a scene? Could we have a scene where it's like late at night and you have to use the toilet, right? And there's no other toilets around. You're in a dark area. This is the only gas station, and you go to it, and the Indian guy or Pakistani guy says, "Oh yeah, no toilet. It don't work. It don't work. It don't work." And yet he's coming out of the his friend is coming out of the toilet that's working, and you're like standing there, and that toilet maybe attacks that Pakistani guy or Indian guy, or
how does the toilet attack a Pakistani?
I don't. Maybe it shoots venomous stuff out of the urinal at him. I don't. No.
You're being vulgar now. You don't want to do. I had an idea for a movie coming back yesterday on the plane, and I was on the plane, and I thought, now in the scene, this guy goes down the aisle and he goes into the bathroom in the plane, and he locks the door and he sits down in the toilet. And all of a sudden, the whole bottom of the toilet flies open, and the toilet turns and dumps him out of the plane. And he goes flying out of the airplane. And then the door to the bathroom opens for the next person to come in. And one by one, people are wondering where everybody went on the plane, My boyfriend went to the bathroom. He never came back. What's going on? Everybody keeps going to the bathroom and disappearing from the plane. Because they're dropping out. It's a great effect scene when the plane falls out and you see yourself falling with your pants down. You're falling out of the plane. It's really this is a good killer plane. When the entire plane is empty,
what happens?
Then there's a surprise ending.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, and I'm not going to tell you what it is.
Oh man,
you have to pay to get in.
I like that.
I can't give these things away.
No, you can't. Not for free.
Everybody would be doing
Levi?
This movie.
Oh, show Levi?
Oh, what about it?
What about Levi?
What do you mean, show it?
Show Levi?
Your play Levi.
Oh, you want me to talk about that?
Oh, we're going to talk. We got lots of time to talk. We haven't got there. We're still talking about, and we're still talking about guys dropping out of 30,000-foot airplanes because the toilet floor opens up. Okay, we got to get past that.
They keep finding all these people scattered around the country, lying there on the ground with their pants down. They wonder, why are all these people dead with their pants down? What's the reason for this? There must be some explanation. And only we, the audience, know the explanation.
That's right. They don't.
Yeah, that's right. So
that's the surprise.
That's not the surprise ending.
That's better than a movie that I saw at a film festival. You didn't do these, but Shark Tornado or Sharknado 1, 2, and 3. But I like these ideas that you're coming up with, man, and because I think
Well, Sharknado was based on a true story too, So that was not, that wasn't like what I make up.
No, absolutely not.
Like the killer toilet. It's different.
I like the killer toilet.
Sharknado is a documentary sort of.
Yeah, and if for some reason when they hit the ground they're still living, the killer toilet throws toilet paper down like bombs, like big pigeon bombs, and hits them in the head.
No, that's not.
I'm not.
That's not believable.
Oh, okay.
That's not plausible.
Dang it.
When you do these things, you got to keep things plausible so the audience can relate to them, that this could really happen, that somebody could really go into the bathroom and the bottom could fall out and you could be dumped out of the plane. Don't you understand?
Hi, I'm getting my education right here with Larry Cole.
Meanwhile, wait a minute. Other people on the plane are being choked to death by their seatbelt.
Oh, yes, you got to have the double action going on.
The seatbelt keeps getting tighter and tighter.
Every time somebody drops out, right? Every time yeah.
And then, worse than that,
triple subplot.
The most horrible thing on the plane.
What?
Airplane food.
Oh my goodness.
But that kills the rest of the people. You know what the great scene in the plane is?
Tell me.
The pilot has to go to the can. So the pilot comes back, and he goes in the bathroom. He drops out of the plane, too. No pilot. So So the stewardess comes back, and stewardess says, "Extension, please. Attention, please. Does any one of the passengers know how to fly a 747 jet? Not you, Mohammed."
Only from the mind.
Yeah, well, we'll hear about that
of Larry Cohen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway.
So what's going on Saturday? King Cohen is going to be premiered here on the West Coast, right?
King Cohen, which has won the best documentary in Montreal, Canada, and over in London, and even in Dublin, Ireland, and I went down to Austin, Texas, didn't I? Yeah, and I went to New York, and we had it in Chicago, also at the Music Box Theater, which is one of the best theaters in Chicago.
Right.
And now it's playing its premiere in California at the famous Egyptian Theater on Hollywood Boulevard.
Right.
Beautiful Egyptian theater, Saturday night.
What time?
7 o'clock.
Now, can anybody come and buy tickets?
Sure. Tickets are available. And not only are they showing, this is a 2-hour documentary, King Cohen, about me, that's showing at the Egyptian Saturday night. But then after that, they're running Q the Winged Serpent, which is my film about the great monster that lives at the top of the Chrysler Building, and The Stuff, the killer ice cream movie, both of those. So it'll be a triple feature. So you can be there till 3 or 4 in the morning if you haven't got a hotel. For people.
And a Q&A after King Cohen.
At least 3 hours for the Q&A.
Yeah.
So that means people can stay all night
long.
And they don't have to pay for a hotel room.
Hey, we used to spend 50 cents and watch films all day long.
It's just, this way, it's like a 24-hour event for people. They're there all night long. And in the morning...
Well, I'm sure we'll have a lot of homeless people there on Hollywood Boulevard.
In the morning, I come back to serve breakfast. It's a wonderful...
Boy, it's like continental style, isn't it?
It's a wonderful event. You get 2 meals.
2 meals?
And a place to sleep. And then you get to see 3 or 4 movies. We might even show more movies. I might show some home movies or something like that.
Well, that'll be interesting.
You want to see what my kids look like.
From the mind of Mr. Cohen. That's right.
So that's Saturday night. And I'll be there in person.
And you're going to answer some questions?
Oh, I am.
Like,
and I'm not going to explain.
What is the stupidest question you've ever been asked in a Q&A from one of your films recently? What was it? Like a stupid audience question?
Gee.
That you really kind of didn't know how to answer, but you had to kind
of... I
know
how to answer all of them. Any
one moment...
All so stupid that it's hard to tell you one from the other. People used to ask only, how much did the picture cost?
Right.
You run a picture, wonderful acting, wonderful stories, wonderful character development, photography, and got a question. Okay, how much did the picture cost to make? None of your business. You go into a shoe store and try on shoes. How much did it cost you to manufacture these shoes? Would you ever think to ask anybody that? Would you ask anybody, how much does this jacket cost to manufacture? You say, the price is $49, $150. Okay, or you don't want it, walk out, fuck you. But only in the movies can they have your nerve to ask you, how much did this picture cost to make? What do you care?
That's right.
It's insulting. That's insulting, yes. Particularly if you tell them they.
Yeah, that's right. It costs $1,000, right? Yeah.
$99.95.
You got the blue light special for the green light girls.
Why does everything on television that you buy cost $19.95?
$19.95. But wait, there's more. The Ginzu knife that cuts your hair and eyebrows. We toss that in for free. If you buy now, call 1-800-LARRY-COHEN. He guarantees it'll be sharp for life. But wait, there's more.
You're getting an extra one.
An extra one. Just in case you need it.
Just pay shipping and handling.
And shipping and handling is only $29.95.
Yeah, right. Well, it's true. I don't know. Did you ever meet anybody?
I did those commercials.
Yeah. Shipping and handling. Did you ever meet anybody and you say, what do you do for a living? They say, I'm a handler.
What do you handle?
That's what I do. You heard of shipping and handling? I'm a handler. Somebody has to, take the check out of the envelope.
Yes,
don't
that's
they?
right. Yes.
Somebody has to
handle
put the product in the box.
That's right.
I'm a handler.
Of course, you say that today, you get yourself in trouble if you say you're a handler.
You're a handler. A lot of handlers are losing their jobs now.
Yeah, boy, I tell you, they are losing their jobs real fast.
Fool around. I'm going to make a horror movie, The Handler.
That would be great.
That's another one of my great
sort of
ideas.
like the Addams Family and the hand just walking around?
No, that was the Beast with 5 Fingers.
Right.
They made that.
Okay.
This is the handler. This is a person who handles you. That's all.
Well, as much handling as I'm getting lately, I'd let you handle me.
No, I don't want to handle you. Now we're back to Lorene again.
How are we bringing you into this all the time?
Talk about Levi.
Yes. All right,
okay. All right. We're making a switcheroo.
Now we have
switch
to. It's
reels.
a big week for me. I got a lot of things going on.
How are you going to stay up for it? I mean,
I'm
taking your vitamins?
I'm sleeping right
Taking
this
your
minute.
ginkgo? Your ginseng?
I'm getting my rest right now.
Yeah, okay.
You think I'm awake, right?
Oh, wow.
No. I can only dream up these things.
Well, if you want some of those little blue pills later on, I'll help you out.
That's what we're going to the pharmacy for after this. Get some of those little blue pills.
So I'm supposed to talk about Levi.
Levi is a musical.
And now tell me about Levi. It's a musical, and where is it at this weekend?
Well, let me tell you, the musical was written by me. I wrote the book, and the music and lyrics were written by the Sherman brothers, Robert Sherman and Richard Sherman, the Oscar-winning songwriters who wrote Mary Poppins, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, Jungle Book. I mean, they've won quite a few Oscars.
I used to love that Chitty Chitty Bang Bang song.
Yeah, well, and a lot of them have been made into stage productions too, like all over the world they're playing Sherman Brothers' Chitty Chitty Bang Bang stage production, which played in New York for a couple of years, and Mary Poppins is on stage and playing all over the world, and they're making a new
movie of it.
The new movie, Return of Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
So I mean, the Sherman brothers are just terrific talents, and I was just lucky enough to team up with them, and they wrote 10 or 11 songs that are brand new songs for this particular show, which is about the life of Levi Strauss.
Oh, the guy who went to the gold fields and canvas, and Strauss was his partner, and I know the whole historical story.
And he invented the Levi pants.
Yeah, because of the ribbons.
Which are known all over the world. In fact, when I was in Russia years ago, they tried to buy the Levi's off our back. People come over to us in the streets and in stores and asked us to buy the Levi's we were wearing.
Really?
Because they couldn't get them in Russia.
No, that's one time you couldn't get anything.
All over the world they wear Levi's.
You notice there's no immigration problem to Russia.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that?
Everybody's exiting.
Yeah, right.
Nobody wants to get in.
No one wants to get in there.
But,
So Levi, an adaptation of the man Levi.
His life story.
It's a Western motif, I'm sure.
Song. He starts off in New York when he comes off the boat, tries to make a living as a peddler on the streets of New York.
Not a handler.
Can't sell anything. He's not a handler. He's a peddler.
Right.
But he doesn't do very well at peddling, and the family wants to get rid of him that brought him over, so they put him on a boat and send him off to California to try and sell stuff
San
in
Francisco.
the gold rush. But he gets swindled out of his merchandise on the boat, and when he gets there, he doesn't have anything left except sailcloth. But nobody wants sailcloth because the whole harbor is full of abandoned ships from people who came to the gold rush, and sails are everywhere, and nobody wants to buy sailcloth. He doesn't know what he's going to do with all this stuff he's got. So in the course of it, he ends up inventing these pants that the workmen can use because they don't tear, they don't rip, and suddenly he becomes success and rich.
Oh,
and beyond. And he tries to help people like the Chinese immigrants who are in California, ostensibly brought over to build the railroad, but now they're trying to find work.
Right.
And he hires Chinese people to work for him, and they do a very good job. But the powers that be in California don't want Chinese to get paid the same as white people, so they decide to try and intimidate him and destroy his business. And he stands up for the Chinese people. They burn his factory down, and there's a lot of drama in the story.
It's a great story of success.
Great songs.
I mean, I can imagine what the songs are by these guys. I can't wait to see it. I mean, it got to be now. Is it? Where's it being performed at?
Yeah, well, we were fortunate to get this this theater in L.A. City College. It's 300-seat theater.
That's a nice theater.
You know that theater?
Yes, I do.
And it's got all the workings of a Broadway house. All the props come down from the ceiling and the scenery changes.
Yeah.
And there's projections and all the lighting changes. It looks just like you're seeing a Broadway show.
Wow.
And Sherman Brothers songs and a wonderful cast that could do this thing on Broadway. So you're basically seeing a pre-Broadway show and you're paying $15.
Oh, well, that beats Broadway, man. You can pay $500 a ticket on Broadway.
Parking is free,
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
So if anybody wants to, for the price of a movie, you can go see a play with great songs.
The subway lets off right there, too. Just right up the street.
The thing about the Sherman Brothers music is you can come out of the show singing the songs.
Yeah.
And most Broadway shows today, you can't ever remember any of the songs that were performed. They come and they go. But Sherman Brothers stuff sticks with you. So of the 10, 11 songs that are in the show, you walk out with knowing 4 or 5 of the songs and loving them.
That's the beauty of music and Broadway plays and all the great the writers of music over the last 150 years in Broadway is that you would come out remembering the song and feeling about the play isolated with the song. And it was just a wonderful marriage there. And you're right. Broadway has lost that in the last 15 years.
We had Irving Berlin.
He had these great ones, yes.
And Jerome Kern and Rodgers and Hart.
Yep.
I mean, they had great songs. All the great songs originated in Broadway shows.
All of them did, right.
And they were introduced in those shows. Today, none of the songs are remembered anymore.
No.
So, except somebody writes something like the Sherman Brothers, because all the songs they wrote over the years in movies, everybody can sing those songs.
Yeah.
Not to mention one of their most famous numbers
that
you hear every time you go to Disneyland.
And what would that be?
It's a small world
after all. Shall we sing it?
That song. Yeah. All right, let's go.
1, 2. 1, 2, 3. It's a small world after all. It's a small world after all. It's a small world after all. It's a small, small world.
All right, that'll be enough.
I think we were like Donald Duck on whiskey there.
After you ride through that thing 6 or 7 times, you want to throw the kids out of the boat.
I just wanted to throw stuff at the dummies.
Yeah.
God.
How many can you knock down?
Yeah.
But anyway, everybody remembers that song. And they even wrote a song that Ringo recorded and made a big hit.
Ringo Starr?
Yeah, called You're 16, You're Beautiful.
Oh, what a great song. That was one of his big hits.
Yeah, well, that's written by the Sherman Brothers.
Yeah.
So there they are, one of the last great songwriting teams that exists. And this is the last show they wrote.
And this is all happening what day? Saturday? Or?
Let me see the dates.
Do you know the date?
I got them right here.
You got them right here.
I got all the information
Boy,
right
look,
here.
he's got his yellow pad out. He's ready to go here. Yeah, man, this man don't mess around.
I have this tattooed on my chest.
Well, I'd love to see that. I'd even film that.
It's painful. Anyway, the Camino Theater. Levi at the Camino Theater. It's 833 North Heliotrope Drive. That's off Santa Monica Boulevard, just before Vermont. 833 North Heliotrope, 7:30 on this week, and you enter by the sheriff's station entrance over there by the college. It's this L.A. City College, and you'll see as you go down Heliotrope, you'll see the sheriff's station. Park around there.
But what day?
What day?
It's going to be on Wednesday, which is
tomorrow
at 8 o'clock. And on Thursday, it's going to be a matinee at 3 o'clock. And Friday, there's going to be a performance at 8 p.m.
All right.
And Saturday, there's going to be a performance at 3 p.m.
All right.
And we're videotaping these performances, too. So.
And then the following day, on Saturday, later on that night, you're going to be at the Egyptian with King Cohen.
Big day. I got to finish the performance of Levi and then rush over to the Egyptian Theater to make a fool of myself there. So. It's going to be a big night for me.
No, you can never make a fool of yourself. You're so talented.
I just hardly recommend this show because a year or two from now you'll be able to say you saw Levi before it hit Broadway, and many people saw a chorus line off Broadway before it ever went on Broadway.
When I was a kid growing up, I loved that play.
Yeah. So
and Yul Brynner, The King and I, Yul Brynner version.
Yes.
I'm
king as I was born to be.
That's right.
Remember him?
like that.
And then Magnificent Seven, I'm sheriff as I was born to be.
Absolutely.
He had a big range.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, there's a great story of him and Steve McQueen on the Magnificent Seven, where Steve McQueen was a big star and Yul Brynner was a big star. So they were vying for how many lines they had in each scene and script, and Steve McQueen was always upstaging Yul Brynner a little bit, and he got really mad at this, and they had some discussion. So Steve McQueen told the writers, "We'll rewrite this and rewrite that, and give him as many lines as I have." And he still upstaged him a little bit, just playing back and forth. And they had that little rivalry through the Magnificent Seven.
Well, I wrote a movie with Yul Brynner, Return of the Magnificent Seven.
What, really?
Yeah, I wrote that movie, and he was in it. He played that same part again.
Yeah.
Steve McQueen was not in it.
No, he wasn't in that one.
Warren Oates was in it.
What a great actor, Warren Oates.
They had some good people in it,
Yeah.
but it wasn't anything like the cast of the original one, which had Charlie Bronson and
the song.
Well, the music
was.
we used in the sequel, which I wrote, and believe it or not, the music in the sequel didn't win, but it got an Oscar nomination for the same music that was overlooked in the first one.
Well, they should have won.
Elmer Bernstein's
Yeah.
music.
Oh man, just great music.
The producers didn't want to use that music because they said it's being used for a car commercial. And I told the producer, Walter Mears, I said, if you don't use the music, don't make the movie. There's no Magnificent Seven
without the music.
Without that music.
Them riding on the horses and that music playing.
and he listened to me, and sure enough, the damn music got an Oscar nomination the second time around, not the first.
Yeah, well, you know.
I'm always right.
You are.
If they would just listen to me.
I'm listening to you.
If all of you would just listen to me and come to see Levi, it would be
just great.
Thing. Yeah.
It's a great story, too, and it is historically sound as well.
Well, we're having all these problems about immigration now and racial prejudice.
Really timely.
It couldn't be a more apropos time for this show to be produced.
Yeah, absolutely. So
is
this your first play?
No, I've done 3 or 4 other plays off Broadway and on Broadway.
Do you like plays versus films? Is it
well,
or it doesn't really matter?
No, you know what's nice about a play is you can see it with an audience and then you can change it if you want to. You can add something. You can take something away based on audience reaction. Once you play a movie, it's locked in, and there's really nothing much you can do with it. That's the way it's going to be forever. But with a play, you can make changes and alter the thing and improve it and have fun with it and work with the actors. And, you know, I've enjoyed directing plays as much as anything I've ever done.
Is it different directing plays than film?
Well, you don't have to worry about all the camera angles.
Right.
And you don't have to worry about the weather, and you don't have to worry about airplanes flying over and those kind of distractions. And you just direct the actors and get the performances going and create the unification with the audience, where the audience is with the show and you can feel it. And that's a wonderful thing to stand in the back of the theater and see the audience getting excited and see them laughing.
Yeah, a lot of times they get excited and laugh and cry and get agitated at spots that you wouldn't think that you thought they were going to have that emotion. Yeah. And it's surprising. That's what a lot of writers and directors have told me when they actually do a big house play. They're surprised at certain parts of it.
Well, it's good for an actor to do a play once in a while.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, when I was on the set of The Shootist with John Wayne, I was like 15, 16 years old, over at Warner Brothers. And we had this one scene, Stable Boy. I just was an extra Stable Boy.
I remember you.
Yeah, you remember me? Thank you. You know,
I said that Stable Boy really made the picture.
Yeah, I did. I had 2 lines and a look.
Shit, I said that Stable Boy.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Man,
they should have made another movie spun off called Stable Boy.
You know, I tried to get him to do that at Lorimar, but maybe throwing the shovel at the producer.
Shoveling that shit, you know.
No, I was shoveling shit at the producer.
The barn?
Yeah, I was.
That was a precursor of my toilet picture.
Look, I was a shit shoveler.
A shit shoveler.
Yeah, there was a special job in Burbank.
Special shit shoveler.
Yeah. I had union status.
Yeah.
Yes. I only picked up little shit.
They had union back in those days?
Yeah, I had little shit. I didn't pick up the big shit.
No.
Because I wasn't a card 1.
Well, I'm telling you, you should have been.
I know. I should have, and I could have, and I would have.
Yeah.
Anyhow, they shot this thing, and there was this one wire going across, that nobody caught, and then one of the ADs was after they had broke the set down and they were moving for the second shot from a different angle. He said, he's looking up at this, between these two old buildings. He goes, there's a telephone wire right there. It's a wire. I don't think they had that in 1893.
So what'd they do?
They just reset and shoot the whole friggin' thing.
All because of you.
Yeah, I've been shoveling shit for a long time. Well, I never worked with John Wayne again, but
he never worked again after that.
I know.
That was his last picture. He said,
"Look it. You know how many radio stations I killed in my career?"
He said, "After that shit, shoveler, I'm not making any more pictures."
That's right,
Pilgrim.
Yeah,
that's what he said.
You've had a good life in film, a good life in the entertainment business, and probably had a lot of laughs and a lot of.
Well, you left out all my television shows.
Well, we're going to get to that right now.
Oh,
I'm glad you pushed me that way.
A little prompting,
I need some prompting every now and then. Lorraine, can you prompt me a little bit?
Yeah, the Invaders.
Okay. Yeah. Let's talk about invaders.
The invaders.
Yes.
Alien beings from a dying planet. That's it.
You do that pretty good. That's Orson Welles.
Yeah,
right
a couple of seasons of that shit,
You like that, though, don't you? Those kind of that
was
weird.
That
kind
was
of stuff.
scary. This guy trying to track down aliens and stuff. That was also based on true story.
I've been tracking down aliens my whole life.
You got to watch him, boy.
In fact, I think I'm part alien.
I thought that too, and I came.
Yeah, he saw my eye.
Yeah, the way you were looking at me. And then before that, I did Brandon.
Brandon
with Chuck Connors.
Okay. Yeah, I was a Chuck Connors goofy kid that loved the Rifleman. Yeah. And Big Country with Gregory Peck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved him in that one too, where he played the snotty Burl Ives' snotty son.
Well, he was good in that picture. That had an unusual event that followed. Years later, I got a letter from a man. He said he lived in Palm Desert and California, and he lived next door to Frank Capra, the famous motion picture director who, made such great films. Mr. Deeds Goes to Town and, It's a Wonderful Life. And I was a big fan of his. I loved all his films. He said, and Frank Capra, he said, loved your movies, Larry Cohen. I said, what? I couldn't say what because it was a letter. But he went on to say that Frank Capra had gone to see The Big Country, and he thought Chuck Connors was terrific. And the picture was directed by William Wyler, a friend of Capra's. And he started following the career of Chuck Connors, and then he started following the Branded television show. And he liked the Branded television show, which I wrote, and he got to liking my stuff. And so when I started making movies, he and his next-door neighbor started going to see my movies.
Wow.
And he said, and he wrote you a letter, and he tried to phone you. And I remembered that years before, when I had an office at Paramount, I got a message that Frank Capra had called. And I said, who's kidding who?
Yeah, right.
Why would Frank Capra be calling me? What kind of a clown is making
what
up
prank is going on here?
And
right?
I never returned the phone call.
Ah! Oh, man.
And years later, I turned out it was on the level.
It's on the letter.
Frank Capra wanted to talk to me, and I never got to do it.
Oh, that hurt. That one hurt.
But I do have the letter anyway.
Yeah, well,
Probably a forgery.
No, I think it was the real deal. When were you on the lot at Paramount? What years?
When we were doing Branded, because
70s, late 70s.
Branded was shot on that Western Street at the beginning. There was a big Western Street that they used to use for Bonanza, and we used it for Branded, and we had that lot. And there were a lot of back lot things around in those days before they tore them all down to put in more offices.
Yeah, on the back by the cemetery.
There was 2 or 3 times where I had offices at Paramount. But in truth, I didn't like having offices at the studio because you'd go there and they'd run into other writers and people and they'd make conversation and you wouldn't do any work. And before you knew it, it was lunchtime and you'd have lunch with somebody. And then somebody would give you the trade papers. The Reporter and Variety that came out every day in those days. And you'd read the trade papers. And next thing you know, it's 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You haven't done any work at all. And then you go home. Whereas if you stay home and just sit down in your pajamas you could write 20 pages.
Yeah, you're real busy, but you're real busy doing nothing.
You're busy doing nothing and having a good time.
And having a great time, and it's addictive.
In those days, too, when I was at 20th Century Fox, you used to go into the commissary and you'd see everybody in costume. All the people were
folks,
in there.
it really was like that at one time. It really, really was. It's not like that anymore, but it really was.
Batman was in there, and all the cast of Fantastic Voyage.
Because everybody broke lunch at the same time.
And the Penguin from Batman was in there.
Burgess Meredith.
Without the nose on, but with the costume on. And Caesar Romero, the Joker, was there.
Oh, man.
And Dr. Doolittle was shooting on the lot, and so they had all the animals that were being carted around. It was a wonderful place to be at that time. So you had a good time when you were there. But as far as getting any work done,
no,
forget about it.
Forget about it. That's a New York coming. Forget about it.
I used to have the secretary calling me up, Mr. Cohen, you haven't been in 10 days, and they're going to send me back to the secretarial pool if you don't come in, please. So I'd go back for a day or two, and then I wouldn't go back again for a couple of weeks.
So did you like doing a lot of TV? Because as the industry changed, TV became the dominant force and kind of forced the studios out from what you said.
I liked making all that money at the time, but I didn't like the fact that eventually somebody from the network came and said, you know, Larry, we love your show. It's one of our favorite shows here at ABC. And then 2 days later, you read in the trade papers that the show had been canceled.
Oh, what a way to learn, huh?
And then you go back to your office, and there was a guy packing all your belongings in a cardboard box.
Off the lot.
And they painted over your parking space. So that was the way it was.
Yeah.
And, you take the money and move on to the next job.
Or it's worse when the security guard meets you out at the front gate and hands you the box.
We had a TV series called Coronet Blue, which was on CBS. And it was about a guy who's found floating in the river, and he has amnesia, and he can't remember who he is, and it turns out he's really a spy. That sounds like the Bourne Identity, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And it was. That's where the Bourne Identity got the idea from Coronet Blue.
Yeah, there's nothing. Sometimes there's nothing new when you start digging. It's kind of just a recharge of what was done 25, 35, 40 years ago.
That was on CBS.
Yeah.
And we had one with James Ferrantino on NBC.
I loved him. Yeah. My mom loved James Ferrantino.
That was called Cool Million.
Yeah.
About a private detective who gets $1 million a case, has his own private jet. That was on for a while, and one after the other were on. I got a lot of shows on the air.
Yeah.
And then I wrote Columbo for a while.
Yeah.
And but I really wanted to do my own features.
Yeah.
Where I could control the whole project, write, direct, produce, edit, hire the composer, and and that's what I did. I did 20 of those.
That's sort of what you have to do in the industry
and
today.
Now I'm writing musicals.
Yeah, I mean, it never stops, does it?
I don't know what's next.
You're on the Jesse T show. That's what's happening right now.
I got to tell you something.
Right.
Jesse T, this is about the pinnacle of my career.
I know.
Isn't that pitiful?
Yeah, I appreciate your pity.
Isn't that?
I appreciate it.
One of my most successful movies recently was the picture called Phone Booth.
I love that. Which was the guy in the phone booth?
Yeah. Colin Farrell trapped in a phone booth.
And the murder was up on top there?
Yeah, it was Kiefer Sutherland was the guy with the sniper up above who was keeping him a prisoner.
What a great movie.
It is. It plays all the time. It's a classic. It's on every week. It's on again on HBO or so.
Love those residuals.
They are quite considerable.
You got $25? I need to borrow. I got to get some gas down at the gas station because they won't let me use their bathroom.
I'll call an Uber for you. That's it.
Okay.
It's a killer Uber. How's that?
I think killer Uber against killer Lyft. You should have a challenge of cars, like Uber against Lyft.
Now, this is your best idea yet.
Yeah, I'm getting warmed up.
This is our chance to work together.
I want to work together.
Yes.
We could have Lyft face off Uber in the desert.
You get to write the script, and I'll take over the show for a week. Okay.
Oh, no problem.
I'll do this show. I always wanted to have my own show.
Well, you can have a show. I'll write the script.
And you get the script, and then we see how it works out.
We can juxtapose each other, right? And then you can interview me.
How come you're not on the networks? What is this?
Well, because you have to help me get there.
Why did Jay Leno go off and you didn't come on?
Well, because you weren't in my corner yet.
Boy, I think the guys now who do these late shows are so unfunny.
Yeah, they are kind of interesting, aren't they? They're all political stuff. I
just saw they hired Seth Meyers to host the Golden Globes. He's about the most unfunny guy I've ever seen. And he thinks he's funny.
Very funny.
He's so smug, and he thinks he's so funny, and he's not funny.
No.
The guy at CBS, all he does is hate Trump.
The heavyset gentleman?
No, the guy who...
Stephen Colbert. Blockhead?
Claudette Colbert.
Blockhead. I call him Blockhead.
I call him Claudette Colbert.
Yeah, he reminds me of Gumby cartoons with the blockheads.
Yeah,
he kind of reminds me of Blockhead.
I know, he's dancing around on the stage.
Yeah.
And all he can
They need Jesse T. That's what they need. They need me, the brown beauty on duty. That's right. We got to get out there with placards, and we need to protest. Damn it. I don't know where to protest. So.
We don't need only our own show. We want our own channel.
You know something? That's what we do here. I just said, forget it. I'm going to do my own thing. And Lee and the gang down here.
Is this a channel we're on?
Yes, it is. Yeah, 21. We're on 21 different social media.
At this very moment?
Right, this very moment. Live. Oh, my God. Lord, help you.
Why didn't you tell me this before I sat down here?
God, it's amazing.
Yeah, the whole thing would have been different. I wouldn't have told all my good ideas to so many people. Now people are out there stealing my ideas. There's somebody right now writing about the toilet falling out from under people on a plane. I know that. The plunger is the name of it. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Killer plungers.
Killer plungers.
Now that's a story.
How about a Roto-Rooter man that loses his mind?
Or loses his snake.
Yeah. He comes to people's houses. They say, "What happened to this lady? She's missing." And they look in the toilet. They see a foot sticking up. She's down there somewhere.
Yeah.
The Roto-Rooter man got her.
These are all fantastic.
Lady.
I think these are nominations.
These are future hits.
I look at.
There's a lot of kids out there tonight are being inspired by.
They are absolutely
seeing how this happens.
They can take their little cameras now, and they can get all kinds of great shots.
Maybe I can get the Sherman Brothers to write a song about the
snake?
Roto-Rooter man.
Yeah.
The Roto-Rooter man. He does what he can.
Roto-Rooter man.
The Roto-Rooter man. When horror first began. That's enough out of you.
Okay, thank you.
Anyway, we tried.
Well, we did, and I think we got to hit somewhere in here. But
we try to come up with lots of new ideas for people instead of giving them the same old stuff they get on these talk shows all the time. We try to break some ground here.
And that we do.
And breaking ground is better than breaking wind.
Yeah, I'm telling you, especially if it was Stinkorama and the Chinese.
Now we're back to that again.
We tie it all together somehow.
Isn't it amazing how it all wove together?
Well, I just got this image of King Cohen letting the big one go down the Chrysler building. I don't know why. It's just... Man, you had too much sauerkraut and hot dogs.
You have to come and see the movie.
No, well, I'm coming to see the movie.
Because we did a lot of things that are very unusual in that.
I saw the trailer. Hey, check out the trailer online. You just put King Cobra in there.
King
Cohen in there. I'm thinking Sylvester Stallone, King Cobra. What am I thinking here?
You'll see with Andy Kaufman. We had Andy Kaufman in his first movie role.
Yeah.
He plays a cop who goes berserk in the St. Patrick's Day parade amongst 5,000 police and starts shooting up the parade. And we shot that down there amongst the real police on Fifth Avenue during the real parade with Andy. Only Andy has met someone, he said, who was crazier than he was.
I asked Tony Danza once, was Andy Kaufman as crazy as he was when he was on Taxi? And Tony Danza went, what do you think?
He wasn't that crazy with me.
No.
Because he thought I was crazier than he was. So he calmed down pretty much with me. But he did everything I asked him to do.
Well, that's important.
And he was taking a big chance, dressing up like a policeman and infiltrating the parade.
Oh my goodness gracious! He took lots of chances. Wrestling, the big wrestling king, whatever his name was, I forget it.
He never tried wrestling Lorraine Landon.
No, I would have liked to have seen that.
That would have been.
Lorraine would have kicked his ass.
That would have been. She would have thrown him out of the ring.
Yes, I know that.
Yeah,
she gave one because she did a wrestling movie.
She was in All the Marbles, which was the premier female wrestling movie of all time.
Yeah.
In fact, they based that TV series on it. Glow.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Sure.
God, I learned something new every day.
Yeah. So that was, and now there's a series. It was series on again. It was on cable.
Yeah.
Which was Glow. It was based on the same thing. So.
Wow. All right. So Saturday night we're going to be at the Egyptian. And that starts at 7:30, right?
7:30.
There's going to be a premiere red carpet. Or are you going to have the whole shebang?
Well, there's going to be a private party for the people who are involved in the movie. There are a lot of celebrities who are in the movie that are going to come.
You probably bring your cameras, take some paparazzi pictures, buy a ticket, check out the possibly 3 movies for sure. King Cohen, and I'm telling you guys, you're going to get a blast out of that because it's just a lot of terrific people just being themselves and talking about you and your career and a lot of snippets of your movies and trailers. It moves. It's just terrific.
You see Martin Scorsese and J.J. Abrams.
All in there. Everybody's in there. And then on Wednesday, tomorrow, down at LA City College, the debut, I guess, on the West Coast here of Levi, the musical, with the Sherman Brothers writing the musical score, and of course written by Mr. Larry Cohen here, and it's about the great guy Levi Strauss. His partner was Strauss, but he was Levi.
No, he was Levi Strauss.
I thought he had a partner named Strauss.
No, he was Levi Strauss. That was his name.
Okay.
But if you wear your Levi's to the show, you'll even enjoy it more. So come with your Levi's on.
And nothing better than sitting on some rivets.
That's it.
Absolutely.
And that's on Wednesday at 8 o'clock, Thursday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon for a matinee, Friday at 8 o'clock, and Saturday at 3 o'clock for an afternoon show. And we're going to be videotaping some of the scenes from the show.
Real cool stuff. So a couple of great things happening this weekend as we approach the weekend. I'm going to get all that information from your websites and stuff so that we can, they can follow you on Facebook, right? You have a Facebook page?
No, I don't do that.
You don't do any of the social media stuff?
No, I don't have time. I'm too busy being crazy.
Yeah, I love it, man. I absolutely love it. So I'll get that information for you guys, and then we'll put it up on the site and get that stuff out.
Is this show going to end soon? Is that what you're trying to end?
Yeah, we're kind of moving to it.
I'm not going anywhere.
You can stay here. We can continue talking. I don't mind.
I'm staying until Levi opens.
Well, it's better than the Motel 6.
I'll tell you. Sometimes they say, someday you got to get a room. And I say, not necessarily.
Just have to have a lot of friends.
People show kindness to strangers,
Larry Cohen, everybody. Larry Cohen on the Jesse T Show.
I loved being here. I loved it indeed.
Had a great time today, and check all the stuff out. We'll be posting all that stuff up here.
If you get on a plane, don't go to the bathroom, whatever you do.
You never know. You might just drop one, huh?
Yeah.
Literally. Larry Cohen, everybody, on the Jesse T Show. Woo!
That man's not applauding.
Boom! You are in the world, according to Torrero. Now you're straight on the point. The Brown Beauty is off duty. See ya! I could use that $25. I really could.
I didn't say I was going to give you any money.
I'll work for it. I'll
You come to all these shows and.
I don't.